Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah and to Fancy Fold Friday, and today I have a waterfall card for you, and I thought I would start off by completely admitting that I have made a great big mistake with this card, but we shall correct it in the one I'll make on camera today. So quite often a waterfall card sits that way, but this time I'm going to sit it that way, and you just pull. Isn't that so pretty? But can you see where I went wrong? Silly, silly me. So, for this card today we need quite a lot of pieces actually. So we've got our card base, which is half a piece of A4, a piece of A4 cut in half long ways, and this is the brushed silver cardstock. Isn't it lovely? Can you see that shimmer on there? It's beautiful. I've got a piece of the Moonlight Designer Series paper, and then I have lots of pieces, but I will get to those and I shall mention the measurements for all of them as we go along. Right, so first things first, we're going to fold our card base in half and burnish with our bone folder, so that the card is kind of a long, thin card that way. I'm going to pop this piece of DSP on, and this piece of DSP is trimmed to 3 7/8 by 5 1/2 and a smidgen, which in centimetres is 10 by 14.2. So I've got to say, when I put this card together I've worked in inches and centimetres, and I'm just hoping it'll all work and come together. I work in what's best for me. I don't always work in metric and I don't always work in imperial. Sometimes you'll find that I'll find, because I convert it already for you, that I've got inch measurements and centimetre measurements all on the same project. So I've got this piece of cardstock here, which is in that lovely silver colour, that measures 1 inch by 4 1/8, which is 2.5 centimetres by 10.5, and that's going to sit about there on our card. And I'm just going to pop it on with a little bit of snail, just as a temporary measure, because we are going to actually attach this properly with some brads later on. So just there. And then I've got a piece of basic grey cardstock. I'll move that card out of the way for a second. Got some basic grey cardstock here that measures 2 inches by 9.5 inches, which is 5 centimetres by 24 centimetres. And we're going to score this piece. And I'm really sorry, because I've just realised that I've got the door open and the tumble dryer on, so if you can hear an annoying tumble dryer noise, I do apologise. I will now shut the door. Okay, so this piece of basic grey cardstock measures 2 inches by 9.5, which is 5 centimetres by 24 centimetres. And I'm going to score it at, put the long side at the top, I'm going to score it at 2 inches, 2 3/4, 3 1/2 and 4 1/4, which is 5, 7, 9 and 11 centimetres. And we're going to fold all of these score lines and burnish them. And I'm also going to use my Scalloped Tag Topper Punch and just punch a nice decorative end. So this forms this lovely sort of the waterfall part of our card. Can you see that? So next I have got 4 pieces of the brushed silver cardstock that measure 2 inches by 2 inches, which is 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres, and a piece of Whisper White cardstock that currently measures 1 3/4 inch by 7 inches, which is 4.5 centimetres by 18, and we're going to stamp on it and then cut it into 4 pieces, so all the squares will be 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 or 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 centimetres. So, but I'm going to do our stamping first. So today I've got the Indescribable Gift stamp set from the Spring Summer catalogue, and this image, I love this, it's so pretty. It looked pretty in the catalogue, it looks pretty on the box, it's stunning when you stamp it. So I've got this already mounted on my block, and I've got some, you should see them at my desk today, there's just stuff everywhere. I've got some Smoky Slate ink, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it several times across the cardstock. That's 1, 2, and a little bit to make 3. So I'm now going to chop this into 4 pieces with my Stampin' trimmer. So that's 1 3/4 inch, 4 1 3/4 inch squares. And we're actually going to add our sentiment onto one of these pieces as well. So I've got those 4 pieces, and because they're all kind of random, they don't need to go in any particular order, so I'm going to just pull one out. I'm going to use that one, I think, for my sentiment, and I'm going to use the same sentiment again, which is sharing in the joy of his indescribable gift. Isn't that gorgeous? So I've already got this mounted on my block, and as you can see, my actual stamp is about the same size as my square piece. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Up for this, and I'll show you how to use the Stampin' Up at the same time. So I'm going to stamp in Memento ink, just because it's a lovely true black colour. So first things first, the Stampin' Majig comes with a handle and an imaging sheet, and this sticker was in the corner and I've moved it into the middle. I always stamp on the kind of scratch stuff. There's a shiny side and a textured side. I'm going to stamp on the textured side today. And I've got my stamp inked and mounted on my block, and I'm going to stamp just onto the imaging sheet. I've put my imaging sheet into the corner of my imaging sheet, into the square, into the corner of this handle, so that I can lift the handle away and the imaging sheet doesn't move. I hold on to the handle with my stamped block, my inked stamp on the block, into the corner, straight down and straight up. And you can see then I've stamped onto the plastic. Now I'm going to take my image, oh my words, I take my little square of cards that I'm going to put my sentiment on, and I'm just going to line up my sentiment onto that square, put my handle back and lift away the imaging sheet, being really careful not to move my piece of cardstock because this one is so small. Ink up, you need octopus arms for this, I think, and stamp again. And now I've got a perfectly lined up straight sentiment. If you didn't use the Stampin' Majig, you'd probably end up with it really wonky, which is what I did the first time around. Can you see it, how wonky that is? Because that's because I didn't use my Stampin' Majig. So, get rid of my Stampin' Majig out of the way, and I now want to, I've got my 4 squares, and I'm going to pop them onto my 4 squares of silver, just with some snail adhesive. Got to say as well, as usual, this card has been requested by one of you lovely viewers. If you've got a fancy fold card that you would like to see demonstrated, if you leave a comment in the comment section just underneath the video, and I shall give it a go, and hopefully there'll be a video demonstration up for your tutorial within probably about a month of your request. So I've now got these 4 pieces and I need to put them onto this piece here. So I'm going to start with this, with my sentiment piece, because that's the bottom of my card. It's kind of the bit that we want hidden, and I'm going to remember this time to line it up properly. So this square at the bottom on this piece that we've scored, this piece at the bottom here is 2 by 2, which is exactly the same size as this piece. So we're going to line that up and pop it on there. And this time I remember to put it on the right way. We're then going to put adhesive next to these score lines here, here and here, but one at a time, because otherwise I end up tying a knot. You're going to line this edge here up with your score lines on your waterfall piece. There we go. So we've now got our piece that looks like that. We'll bring back our card, and this, we then need to open out your waterfall and slip the whole piece underneath and fold it over, so that, and that's how your card will sit, just like that. And then if when you pull this, it will all, oh, my hands are in the way. So I'm going to put a bit of fast fuse just in the middle here. Now I've worked out where I want my waterfall to be. And fold my waterfall over and attach it. Try and keep it square. I can't see the same angle as you can. There we are. So now when you pull, that goes. Now this piece here is only, this silver piece is only attached with a bit of snail adhesive. We need to make it a little bit stronger, so I'm going to use my 1/8 inch handheld punch. You probably should use the 1/16 punch, but I haven't got it, so I'm going to use the 1/8, but the 1/16 would work probably slightly better. And we're going to punch through and make 2 holes, one either side of our waterfall. And this is just so that we can make sure that piece isn't going to move. I've got the antique brads, and I'm going to use 2 of the smallest size brads. I actually meant to say as well, when you're putting your holes in, make sure you open the card out, because you don't want holes in the back of your card. And we're going to pop them through and open them out. And that is my waterfall card and your card for Fancy Fold Friday. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any suggestions of a Fancy Fold card you'd like to see me make next time, just let me know. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.